welcome to another episode of Shooting
the Shit with Rachel Ann
and Neal Young. So we're talking all things real estate photography business growth, mindset, and getting it done. Here come your favorite true entrepreneurs, Rachel Ann and Neal Young, shooting the shit.
I have a ferret on the podcast. Like if we're kind of in a slump, like what kind of things do you do?
Talking about a boob light.
Straddling a power line.
Nice photo.
Ooh, I need that.
I'm like red right now because I'm embarrassed. I go like this. I love it.
Come in.
Sure, use your podcast voice.
You know, over here, I'm pitting out.
Drone's like flipping to the ground.
That's a great callback.
Chit-chatting.
Is that what you call that? Hey!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Today we got a fun one. We got a social media wake-up call.
Booyah.
Say hello, Rach.
So this one's going to be just kind of motivating you if you're not on social or if you're kind of lacking on social to get your butt in gear and get on social media, because it is a great tool to leverage that is free. It's fun. We're content creators. Like, why are you not on social media, right? Yeah. So we're just going to dive into it, and we're going to have a little social media series that we do here. So we'll have a couple episodes regarding social media going forward. So Neal, why don't you dive right in?
Yeah, so this one kind of started with me just having a wake-up call for myself. I've kind of just, like a lot of us, I think, we've kind of like had spurts of, I'll do some social media, and then it gets busy and you're like, nah, it's not that important. I don't really need to be doing it. And it just finally hit me that like, I need to really embrace it. I've come to the point where it's like, okay, guys, it's really time to not just think of this as something extracurricular, but part of your homework every day. And it's really part of your business now that you have to they have to allocate your time for. It's not just a when you can, when it's not busy. It's time to do it consistently, weekly, daily, whatever makes sense for when you can fit it in for what your current time constraints are, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it is time consuming. I think that's one of the biggest setbacks for people is like, oh, I don't have time to do that. Or, it's going to eat up so much of my time. And there are systems that you can put into place and set reminders and, create a structure around it to where you have designated times every month and every week to designate to this and just bust it out and get it done.
Yeah. And I think that's everyone's first excuse. And I think if we're being honest, we all can come up with a lot of excuses why not to do it right quick, right?
Yes.
But really, I think it's a mindset shift that
For sure.
this really isn't anymore just like a bonus thing that it's great if you do it. It's really, you are going to start to have less success if you aren't focused on it. And I think that's really what it's come to. It's time to embrace it. And so, yeah, I mean, I've literally done the dabbling on it and offered some services here and there, but then not stuck with it and stuff like that. And finally made a decision that, no, this is where it's at. And I really just have to embrace this for my own business and also really help my clients to embrace it for themselves too. Because I think it's the point where people are missing out on opportunities. And if you aren't now, I believe you will be missing out on opportunities at some point in the future. So why not start building now to have this foundation? And that's another part of it. I don't really know and I don't think anybody really knows is where this will go. But I've already seen with people on social media, and I'm sure everyone has, there's a lot of potential out there and you don't really even know where you might end up or what might change for you. But when you start building that foundation, you start building that kind of circle of followers and you start opening up doors for yourself that you might not even have thought of it. So 2 years from now, who knows what it could do for you. So, time to get started on. So that's what I've changed already since we originally thought about doing this. I've already made some moves to try and change that for my own reality as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, I remember talking to you, Neal, when we first started this podcast, and you didn't really have much of a presence on social media. And I'd bring it up with you. And like I've managed the social media for shooting the shit so far for the podcast.
Yep. Yep.
And you've taken care of all the editing stuff, which has been a great little partnership. And now we're swapping. So
Right.
the posts going forward are going to be Neal
Yep.
posting, and it's going to be his voice, which I'm excited to have the different perspective because I think that's kind of fun. It'll be neat. But, I love that I remember I'd bring it up with you and you'd kind of get this guilty look on your face, like, I know I should be doing it. You'd make excuses like, I know, I just haven't done it. I just can't get into the flow of it, and I think that's a lot of people get stuck. But if you know all the benefits of it, and you can, like I just said, you can schedule it into your day, and you don't have to start huge. You can start small, right?
Yeah.
Just doing 3 posts a week, or just do 1 post a week, just something to start doing it and make it a point to do it every week so that it becomes a habit. It takes 27 days to make or break a habit, something like that. 20 something days. I don't know what it is.
20 something. For
20
me,
something.
I can break a habit in one day.
Oh, shush. Yeah,
no,
right.
no,
Neal
but-
has superpowers.
No, I didn't mean in a good way. I meant break a good habit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That could go either way.
I can get that done right quick.
Yeah.
No, yeah, and I've always known and I think a lot of people are probably like me, where even you'd think that coming from an entertainment background and stuff, that I'd be big on wanting to be on my cell phone and put myself out to the world all the time. But in reality, the social media stuff, starting originally with my age group, was more Facebook stuff. I've never really been one who wanted to share every second of my waking, breathing moment, everything, my day. It's just not me. I'm like, I don't need to know every time somebody goes to the bathroom. So I've kind of actually been more hands off with that, which probably people would have thought that would be the opposite with my personality. But I don't know. I've never felt I had to share everything, So now for me, what's really helped and what will, I think, make a big difference for a lot of people is really the mindset shift.
Mm-hmm.
If you just say to yourself, okay, this is my homework today, I have to get 1 piece of content. When that's in your mind, it's not that hard to get the content, because you're actually throughout your day missing tons of little bits in your daily work that would be a post, would be a story, would be a reel, would be a photo. And if you just start doing it, the content starts piling up. Create like what I just create a Google Drive, and I just take that and put it in the drive at least, and you already get a little stockpile of stuff going. But I mean, just going, hey, I'm going to get 1 behind the scenes shot on my shoot, and literally even you turning with your camera behind you and you get a photo is something, and it literally took no time.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be all consuming and take too much time. But if you're focused and specific about what it is you're trying to accomplish, it can take very little time to get started with something,
Right. Yeah. And, everything is content. We're in beautiful homes every day. We meet all different kinds of people every day. There's so many opportunities throughout your day to just capture a short little push in, walking forward clip of view, right? And then posting it on as a reel, adding some trending audio, and boom, there you go. You have your post for the week.
Right.
Like you said, so many opportunities. And we are content creators. So we constantly are creating beautiful images and taking gorgeous photos. Like we have endless photos to choose from to post on social. So there's no excuses. But let's talk about some of the reasons of why social media is so great. So we're referring to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, pretty much all the platforms, because Instagram has really been the big one for photographers. It used to just be photos on Instagram, and then they've introduced more of the video, and they're really pushing the reels, so it's really turned into more of a TikTok like platform. So it's brought a lot more businesses onto Instagram. And now what I'm hearing, the trend is going towards YouTube and YouTube Shorts, which are
I just have to call out one thing, just because if anybody
What's
else I'm hearing your audio right now, and if everyone's, I just realized what it was. If anybody's listening, the ding, 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 is that your dog eating food?
My dog's eating her dinner. Yes. Sorry.
So, but I just know, like, when you hear something like that, it's hard to focus when you're like, what is that? What is it? But now you all know.
Lexi's hungry. Sorry.
The dog's eating.
Yeah. No, my husband, she was barking because she was hungry. So my husband snuck over and fed her. He poured it in so slow because her bowl's right next to my desk. And now Don't worry, she's licking the bowl. She's almost done. She's was
See,
very
if only
hungry.
we had a behind the scenes shot of Abel like trying to fill while you record a podcast. It's like that's gold.
I know, right?
Oh my
Like,
God.
oh, honey. Yeah.
But
And now
sorry to
she's
interrupt you, but
drinking
I
her
just knew
water.
that we would
Extremely
lose people.
loud.
Yeah.
Okay, so reasons why you need social media in your life. You reach a lot of
Yes.
people. So the reach that you can do, if you think about all the different forms of advertising that are available to us, we've got email marketing, we've got social media, we've got print ads. You could go drop your cards off at offices. You can post your card up at a restaurant. That you could do an in live event where you're teaching something. But really, the best, like biggest bang for your buck is social media. You can easily get in front of a lot of people for very little to no cost. So
Right. That's what I
that's
say.
the
Bang for
number
your
one
buck is
reason.
not even a buck. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
currently, and who knows how long it'll be this way, but it's currently
Mhm.
free, which is
Right.
crazy, right?
Yes. Fantastic. You can
People look
also,
back and think it's like the wild, wild west before social media. You could just do whatever you wanted, and it didn't cost you anything. Amazing.
it better not start charging
You
$5
never know.
per post. I'd be like, what? Everyone would jump ship. No way. No way.
You never know. You never
Except
know.
businesses. And then it would be super spammy. Be like, meh.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no thanks.
But
You can target your market. Like you can go out and follow people in your target market, like brokers in your area, and you can start engaging with them and commenting on their posts. So you can really pick who you want to work with and start engaging with them, getting to know them. So then they'll eventually, hopefully, come work with you.
yeah,
And you can also meet peers in this space as well, which I've met a lot of friends off social media.
yeah. I
Crazy.
mean, it's such a crazy resource when you think about it. And then there's, you could think of it as competition. There might be like-minded businesses out there that may be way bigger than you are, but you can start interacting with them and almost kind of ending up in their same flow and grabbing an audience that you wouldn't have had access to previously if you're being genuine and commenting helpful information there. All of a sudden you can attract an audience you never would have been in front of before, which is also pretty cool.
Yeah.
It really is amazing what you can do on social media currently. It's insane. And yeah, I've just not been taking advantage of it as much as
Neal,
I should have.
excuse me, you are killing it on social media now. Like
Currently.
Neal jumped in like all the way in, just dove right in, and he has been cranking out reels. He's got a team now, so he's like rebranded, and he's just been tackling it. Like, I love your reels. They come out and they're entertaining, they're fun, they're like they stop the scroll. Like, you're doing a great job. So I love
Thank you.
it.
Thank
And I
you.
know you have
And
help with it, and that's probably a big part of it too.
it is.
You've got other people supporting you and helping you do the posting and all that kind
Well,
of
and
stuff.
I'm also, I've always considered myself a dog versus a cat. I really am a pack animal.
Mm.
And so having people to bounce things off of and keep you motivated is helpful for me.
Mm.
So just like doing this podcast, it'd be a lot harder for me if this was just me doing a podcast all by myself. I don't think it would have lasted very long.
Oh, Neal, you could talk all day long. I'll just sit here and listen.
Well, I do even
Feel it.
before you show up. I'm just talking to myself, in fact. But no, but totally. I do so much better in an environment like that, bouncing ideas off people and everything. I love that creative atmosphere and stuff. So
Yeah,
that is true.
totally. That's true. Okay, I have a question for you, Neal.
Yeah.
When you are going to go check out a potential business that you want to start using, or a new hire, or somebody that you want to like stock,
I
where
know
do you
you're
go to do
going.
that?
I
Where do you
know
go?
where you're going here, because that's a very valid point, right?
Facebook and Instagram,
Right,
right?
right.
The
I
first
saw
place you go.
I saw a interesting post the other day. It was something to the effect of, who's kind of creeping in on the space of Google search, right? And it's like, and they're like, everybody,
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram, where you find yourself now searching way more often for things that you're interested in on Instagram, on
Mhm.
Facebook, right? So
True.
that's where it's going to go. You live there. That's where you start looking for things, and that's
Mhm.
you want to learn something, instead of going to YouTube as much, you might end up doing it on Instagram more. It's definitely, it definitely will change. The more and more you use something, the more that's your go-to for everything.
Mhm. Totally.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And you can really curate what your feed shows you. It's amazing when you look from like my news. Sometimes at night, my husband and I lay in bed and just flip through reels, and like my news feed is like inspirational quotes, houses, cute animals, and his news feed is like total boy feed, like men farting, like funny. We watch some great fart videos. I
I
don't know
love
why he
the
gets
reels.
so many
The guy
fart
who
videos,
walks
but he
by
does.
farting. I love them. They're so dumb, but I can watch way too
Oh
many
my
of
gosh.
those.
Yeah, or like surfing videos or
Yep.
extreme sports or like, people crashing and hurting them. It's just a completely different experience on the
Mhm.
different phones. So, depending on what you're engaging with and what you're
Right.
following is what you're going to start seeing. The algorithm will start pumping more of that to you. So, just be mindful when you're on there of what you're searching for and what you're looking for because you're going to get more of that. It's almost like you're manifesting it into your life basically.
Yeah.
The algorithm is like God giving it to you, right? Or the universe, whatever you believe in.
Totally. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so it comes up when you start searching for it, it starts coming more and more into
Yeah.
your space on
Totally.
social. So be careful what you follow, what you look
I
up.
know,
Don't
right?
don't look
But
up like I'm not even gonna say anything because it'll be inappropriate. Never mind.
every outside of farts is as far as we
Maybe that's just what came to mind.
and there it is.
I
And
mean,
that's
maybe you're
and
into
that's
that,
the
but
and that's the episode. Thanks for tuning in.
and we just got kicked off Spotify. Shadow banned forever. That
Forever.
better not do it. Jeez Louise.
Oh, but I think that's a big piece too that people that kind of miss when they go into, trying to do the business thing on social media.
Mhm.
They really just do the business thing. And I think you'd think it'd be very obvious, but people miss the obvious part here which is social media. It's not a one-sided conversation, right?
Mhm.
It's social. You should be giving and you should be taking. You should be listening and you should be joining in the conversation. And the more that you can kind of be genuine, whether that's helping people through what you post on social media, the more that that's genuine, I think the more it's going to, help you and help your business. And I don't know why, but I think a lot of people miss that. And some people just post and that's it. Here's a pretty picture and that's it. And I think you're missing a lot of the opportunity. Like, oh yeah, basically your website was your place to post a whole bunch of photos, right? And that was great. You need a portfolio. And I think the opportunity a lot of people are missing now too is just using Instagram and Facebook just as a portfolio. I think you're missing the biggest part of the game, which is that really building a community.
Mhm.
Because when you truly build a community through more engaging content, education, some fun stuff as well, and motivational stuff and all this stuff, when you start to do that, you're really going to start to build a web of people who you interact with, and you all kind of help and lift each other up. I
Yeah,
mean,
and you're
just like anything,
attracting
just like in your regular world.
right, and you're attracting your tribe. You're attracting like-minded people when you
Right.
do that. When you really
Right.
dig deep and figure out what you're all about and what you don't have to share everything. I don't share my whole life on social media. It might look
No.
that way, but I don't. There's certain things that I just don't put out there. I limit my children on there. I try not to put them on too much because it's their life, not, they don't need to be a part of my business. But you can pick what you want to share and take from your
Yep.
core values of like what matters to you and what you
Right.
believe in and build posts around that stuff to really attract the people that are going to want to work with you and be in your community and engage with you.
Yeah, and there's a negative stigma too out there that like social media is only for people, doing silly skits or dancing or whatever,
Mm.
and they're like, I don't do that. I'm a business. It's not about those things. Sure, you can do those things if you excel at those things. I'm going to start doing some more silly character bits that relate to my business because I think that I get excited about it. I'm like, ooh, I'm finally like, this sounds fun to me, right? But I don't think that's for everybody. If that's not you, don't do it. That's not genuine. What you really want to just be is genuine, because
Mhm.
when you're genuine, doing the things that motivate you, that help you get excited about your job or excited to help others, whatever that is, do that on social media. It doesn't have to be, and that's the thing. It's not this little box anymore. You see more and more just people doing their own thing on social media. And like you said, they're attracting their tribe. So
Mhm.
just be genuine with whatever it is that you want to put out there. If you're consistent with it, that's the other big piece, then you're
Mhm.
going to start attracting those people who are going to dig it.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to plug the course right now because this is exactly what my course is about. It's
Oh,
for
good,
the
good.
noobs that want to get on social media. They have a business, they know they need to get on social media, but they just don't know where to start or they feel overwhelmed by the task, right?
Okay.
So I help you break down what you're all about, what you should be sharing, what matters most to you. We go through your core values. We talk about your big why you're doing it, what your purpose is, and then we dig into what you should be posting, where, when, why. So I'm bringing in my social media manager and my brand manager to really own their sections of the course. So they're going to do a full brand overview of what your how to build out a lifestyle brand, um, how to present yourself as a leader in the industry. And then my social media manager is going to come on and talk about how to write good copyright. So you're going to get some industry leaders in there gaining,
Mm,
and you're going to get their knowledge as well, which is really fun. There's a lot of worksheets and like through the worksheets, you're going to have a lot of content that you can post from that as well. We might have a posting contest that we do. I don't know. I
oh,
have
cool.
some really fun ideas. I want to get it. There's going to be a community.
Yep.
It's an app, so you download it, and then all the episodes or all the modules are on the app. So it'll be fun. It's in the works.
Oh,
Worked
that's
on it
cool.
again today. I've got my first test group gal that I'm going to put through the course. I think we're going to start in 2 weeks. So 2 or 3 weeks when I get back from
That's
vacation.
awesome. So you
So,
kind of can help them sort of find their identity in the
mhm.
social media realm as it relates to what they're trying to accomplish with their business. That sounds great. I like
Exactly.
that.
And have them gain the confidence to show up on camera. Because for me, my whole
Mhm.
business transformed when I started showing up on social media, like
Yep.
taking lifestyle photos of myself and putting them on and getting
Mhm.
behind the camera and doing talking head videos and showing the behind the scenes. Like, I can't tell you how many people have said, I feel like I know you just from social media. I
Yep.
feel like I've said that a million times, but it's so true. It's like,
It's such
it's
a huge
powerful.
piece of it. It's
It
such a huge piece of
is.
it. And it's the same thing for photographers, real
Mhm.
estate photographers. If you think about it, if there's going to be 100 photographers in your area that an agent could use to take photos, well, and maybe you all have great work. At some point,
Mhm.
you all have good looking work that probably to an agent's eye, they're not going to know what the difference is. But I tell you what, if you've got a presence on there and they're like, man, they look like they have a great culture and fun people to work with. I like them.
Mhm.
Who are they going to go hire?
Right. And you might be their backup photographer. If their photographer's out of town, I've had that happen multiple times. So, like, I love what you're doing on social media. Like, a lot of my real producers, the shoots that I do for real producers, right? They're lifestyle shoots. And these people are top producers. They have photographers. So, I'm not trying to poach them, but they're like, oh, I love following you on social. I've been following you for a while.
That's
I
cool.
have my own photographer, but I really love what you're doing. And I'm like,
Good.
great. So, I'm on their mind because they're seeing me. If their
Yep.
photographer retires, which that happens a lot, or quits or moves, I might be the next person they pick to work with because they like what I'm doing on social.
That's right.
So another big part of this course is humanizing your brand with all the AI coming out and all like
Hmm.
chat
Hmm.
GPT or whatever it's called,
Hmm.
where
Yep.
you can type in like, give me the top 5 reasons why you should be on social media. And then it just writes a whole post for you. Like that
Yeah.
is crazy cool, but I've heard a lot of people say I can spot it a mile away. It's obvious. Like, so this is
Yeah.
about keeping it human, like, and being real and finding the
Mm.
authentic, true you to share on social media. And it's honestly, it's really fun. For me, it's been a blast. Like at first I was shy and scared to do it. And now
Yep.
I've learned, I've gotten a lot of tools in my tool belt that I bring out that really help me to shine when I'm on social media and just feel comfortable and have
Yeah.
fun with it. So it's a fun way to
Totally.
express yourself creatively.
Yeah, get to be creative in a different way. Totally. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
I just the past couple nights I was literally in the shower at like 12 or 1 o'clock at night. I was in the shower and this this scene for real kept playing out in my head, and it brought me back to the days where I was writing sketch comedy. And I'm like, man, this is a sketch.
It's
Write it out,
fun.
dude, like you used to do. And I
Yeah.
sat down and I had a real script with the character names, Al and Agent and Al, and I'm writing back and forth. Okay, so Al says this, then the agent says this. And I'm like doing my dumb faces in the mirror. Oh yeah, that's what's funny. That's why it's funny. I'm like, oh wait, yes, that's what it is. It's the
Oh,
devil. This is the devil. And this is the, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
yes. I
yeah,
love
so
that.
I've
I
got
love
some
that.
fun stuff. And I'm scared. I'll be honest with you. I'm scared to do it in this capacity. It's a different thing when I would go on stage and do ridiculous characters in front of a live theater because the audience was expecting that, right?
Yeah.
And so
And
breaking
it's
out some of these,
contained to that live event. It's not like you can
yes,
replay it or
doesn't go
go
to the world
back. Yeah.
indefinitely.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
once it's done, it's
So
done. Yeah.
So it is a risk, right? And just you might think, oh, Neal, well, he did entertainment, so it's not a risk to him, and it's like whatever, he can do that easy. But no, I got to tell you that I'm a little afraid. Like, am I still funny? Can I still do ridiculous faces and pull it off? Or are they gonna be like, this guy, who does he think he is? He thinks he's funny. We all have these fears, and that's another part of the challenge is to get past that. And so I told myself I'm gonna release a couple of these, and we'll see how they do. I'm excited about them, so I hope that they in execution come across. But you know what I mean? Yes. So you gotta try. You gotta put your neck out there a little bit. But I like to think that even if these first rounds don't hit the mark you think they're gonna hit, it's okay because at least you're making progress and you're heading in a direction, and that might lead you to your next aha moment of, oh, this is what I'm missing, and to
Hmm.
make it better and to keep going. And anyway, get excited about something. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
character things. It can be just I mean, I love the motivational stuff on social media too.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
one of the biggest reasons that people go to social media. Saw some stat on that. One of the biggest people go to social media is for that inspirational to feel good.
Hmm.
So think about that. You can make people feel good with
Yeah.
a post or even whatever it is. So I
Yeah.
don't know. That's powerful.
I know. It's always nice when I post, like I posted one about working out, how I didn't feel like working out. And then I did it and I
Yep.
like felt so good. And then I get a couple comments or DMs and people are like, thank you so much for posting that. Like that just helped motivate me to work out. I've been in such a slump. So thank you. I needed that today, and
Yep.
like little, when you can lift people up, like that makes it all worth it. It's like, wow, I
Yeah.
actually motivated someone
And
today. That's awesome.
those are genuine connections that you're
Oh yeah,
building there. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
that's way different than shooting somebody an email once a month. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Not that we don't have to do those things anymore, but this is definitely our new homework.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm excited. That course sounds really cool. I'm never
Thank you.
surprised that you have all cool new ideas every time I talk to you. I'm like, oh, yep, I like that. That's good. That's good.
Thank
Very
you.
cool.
It's like
No.
it's been such a hard thing for me to create because I have it all up here. It's just getting it out in an
Yes.
organized manner because I'm a little ADD. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of all over the place. But when
Mm.
I can focus on
Oh yeah.
something, it's
Oh
good.
yeah.
It's really good. But yeah, so it's been a
Well, that's why I
challenge.
get excited late at night because
Hmm.
there's way less distractions. If I can get
Hmm.
into it at night and everybody's asleep,
Hmm.
then I just roll. But yeah, I
Yeah.
have a hard time during the day, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked on it for 2 hours today and I got like three phone calls and an email and a text. And I'm just like, gosh, like,
Yep.
and I can't not look. I'm like, I should just turn my phone off and put it in the other room, but maybe
Yeah.
I'll try that next time. That would be smart.
There you go.
Yes. Yes. Set myself up for success. Turn notifications off.
Cool.
It's not
I
hard out
think the other piece too is, and I gotta work on this a little bit too, is then I think something else to consider is a little diversity too in your social media for your platforms,
there.
because we don't really know where these things are going. I mean, we've seen platforms in the past that just went away, right? For whatever reason. We're not a part of that. We're not going to know. They're probably not going to give us a heads up if it does. So I think it makes sense to diversify a little bit. And some of the things that will help you, I think, in the diversity is if you can get something a little bit longer format. We found it's very helpful to have like this podcast because we get content from it very easily for posting. So if you can do some YouTube videos that are a little bit more long form, you could have a presence on YouTube, right?
Hmm.
Then you could do shorts on YouTube from that longer form. You can make shorter snippets in the shorts section to use it because who knows, that might take off in the longer format and might die out. Who knows? And then you can use that same content for Instagram, for Facebook. And then what I've got to focus on now, we've really been focusing on Facebook and Instagram with this new rebranding we did and all this for the company and the new marketing stuff that we're doing. Um, but I really, in the back of my head, am going, I got to get going on TikTok too, because I've done like 10 videos on TikTok, just dabbled here and there and used it as just like a playground. But I know that I really need to do that as well.
Hmm.
And I think, because you never know what might any one of those could really take off for you too. Besides just
Hmm.
worrying about one crashing, you might just kind of hit a sweet spot on any of these, and it could be really great for your business. So you can repurpose the content for multiple venues and have an expanded audience as well, right? A lot of people are diehard TikTok versus Insta versus Facebook. So I'll recommend not just, putting all your money in Facebook or all your money in Instagram, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And another thing to say to that,
Mm.
these social media platforms, like I remember, I think it was last year, Instagram went down for 24 hours, like a day.
Mm.
Like it just didn't work. And it was like, oh no, like my my whole life is on there. Like all the content I've created, it's like my portfolio, it's my
Yeah.
videos. Like I've put a lot in, not my whole life, but I've put a lot into it. And all my clients follow me on there. But
Yeah.
I also have a newsletter that I put out every month, and I have an email list, and I own that email list. That is mine. No one can take that from me. But social media can be taken from you, like you're saying. So make sure, like you're saying, diversify so that you have it in your hand in a couple different areas. Like I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. My YouTube channel, I'm just starting to build it out, and it's geared more towards educational stuff and like for real estate photographers and like filming video and social media stuff. But yeah, not having all your eggs in one basket is great advice for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on with me and how we're kind of growing and evolving and whatnot for our social stuff. But Rach, you're also doing a ton, obviously. Where, like, what would you say is some of the? I'd be curious. I think people would be curious to know how you started and kind of progressed to where you are right now, and what's different for you on social through the process, because you've been consistent on social for several years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about 3 years now, posting at least 3 days a week. So I started out about 4 years ago, just posting pictures of houses, and then I don't know, 2 years. Yeah, probably 2 years of just posting houses and like some stories. Like I'd post on my story, just behind the scenes kind of stuff. And then about 2 years ago, I got my social media manager, and she started telling me to like get my butt on social. Like, look at how much engagement you have when you post a picture of yourself. And I was like, wow, it's like 3 times the engagement on those photos.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing branding shoots every quarter and really tailoring them around what my marketing message was for that quarter. Like we kind of pre-planned it, what am I selling in March? What am I selling in April? What am I selling in May? Like, or what am I trying to accomplish with social
Mm-hmm.
media, right? Like, where do
Right.
I want to take people? So we kind of had a plan of attack with, and that's what was nice about having a social media manager is she kind of taught me that. She taught me that it's more than just posting houses. Like there is a strategy behind it that works, and you need to understand that, like, you need to diversify yourself as a business, understand what you want to post and where you want to go, understand your target market and who you're marketing to, and then understand how to create a good hook and a good call to action to get people to engage with you, keep watching, not scroll past your posts, and to start commenting and posting on your stuff. So I would say probably like a year ago, I think, is when Reels came out. And I was seeing all these people doing these lip sync videos, and I'm just like trying to do them. I spent probably 30 minutes trying to do one lip sync video. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I can't do this real stuff. And my manager was like, Rachel, you got to do these lip sync things. And I'm like, dude, no, I'm good. Like, it's just not me. It's like, I'm not going to go dance on TikTok. It's just not my thing. So I'm like, no, no, no. Well, now she offers, I think it's 2 or 3 reels a month, something like that. And she gives me the audio, and then she gives me the prompt of what I need to do for the reel. And some of them are lip syncing, and I'm just like, sometimes I just don't do it. I just send her a different video clip or something. I'm like, here you go. This will work. We figure it out. But no, so she was posting 3 days a week on my newsfeed, and that was kind of the bare minimum for me for a while. And then I just fill in with stories. And now it's gotten to the point where, now that reels can be posted on your newsfeed or just on your reels, I'm showing up a lot more because I've really dove into the video creation and using the different apps to create content. Like I use Beatleap, which is a great little easy editing software, like super starter pack software. I really wouldn't recommend it to photographers because we have the editing capabilities, but if you haven't done any video editing, it's a great one. It just syncs the clips to the beat of the music, and then you can add in fun transitions, and it's like takes 2 minutes to make a video. You just add the clips, the music, and it's done. And then I've also been using CapCut, which I really like. CapCut, there's a lot of cool things you can do in there. You can do cutouts, you can put text over, like cool transitions. You can layer clips and stuff like that. And then In Stories is the new one that I've been using. I think that one's like $15 a month, but that allows you to create like it has cool templates for stories and reels and stuff that are
Mm,
just a little different. And those two are just drag and drop and they're done for you. So, and I've been having so much fun with these. I've been taking so many clips with my phone when I'm on site. I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of educational content. We're going to be offering these new social media packages where it's 3 social media reels, done for you copyright. So they have the captions and then the property website and marketing kit from HD Photo Hub. So it's like your full social media kit, right?
yeah.
And so and we do it with the Osmo 5. We don't use the big gimbal when we do those little videos, the vertical videos. So I'm
Yep.
teaching my brokers how to use those. I'm like, you can make these yourself. Like I'm encouraging all of them to go out and get all this gear so that they can create content like I'm creating for their clients because it's so easy to do yourself. Like, yes, I want them to hire me to do it. I might be, putting myself out of business with some brokers, but most don't want to do it. Honestly, they just want to hire me, get it done. And the ones
Yeah.
that do end up doing it themselves, they're going to be a lifetime client because they're like, wow, thank you. You taught me how to do this. This is great. I
Mhm.
still do their photos and all their other stuff. So, and like I've had the social media managers for about 2 years. I had a couple others before I found Kelsey, the gal that I use
Mhm.
now. And they were great. They weren't actual social media managers. They were just people that I met. So it was good to find someone that actually specializes in it that could really help me nail down a strategy. They
Mm,
write the copyright and it sounds like me. I just really enjoy that. And then with the stories, I try to post at least 3 or 4 times a day on my story. There's
yeah.
times though when I just go dark for like a week. I just won't post. And I've still got my newsfeed posts coming out 3 days a week. So I'm still showing up on people's newsfeed. I'm still being consistent. And I don't feel guilty when I have to drop off for a week. If I have a busy week or I'm just like mentally just overwhelmed or I just don't feel like it or I didn't do my hair that day or
Yeah.
whatever the excuse may be, I know that I can take a week off and I've still got those posts going out. So I'm still showing up on people's news feeds. I'm not being
So
forgotten.
I think people are going to hear 3 stories a day and like have a heart attack and fall over and die somewhere. But can you give an example of like a day this week where you had 3 stories that you did? What were they and how long did they take?
So here's 3 posts. So last night, my husband and I were reading the Bible and he wanted to look up quotes for where you can find manifestation in the Bible.
Mhm.
Little backstory. So I did like a manifestation challenge and been listening to Gabby Bernstein and like all these different people. And then one of my girlfriends who's very religious, she was like, manifestation, it's mentioned in the Bible multiple times that it is self-righteous and it's wrong and you shouldn't. It's like basically you're saying that you're creating things when it's actually God creating things. So it was interesting. So she's
Mm,
always kind of been in my head when I'm taking these manifestation courses and really learning and diving into it, like the law of attraction and all these things. And so we researched, manifestation and where it's mentioned in the Bible. So I did a little post and it's just a quote from Romans that says, and we now know for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. So that was a Bible verse that we found by
mm,
looking up manifestation in Bible verses. So, and for me, I'm religious. I believe in God and I do post some religious stuff occasionally. And that's a choice that I've made. I might have people that don't believe in God and they hate seeing that. But for me, it's like that's something that's dear to me. And I think God brings nothing but love and good things. So I'm going to post it every once in a while. Right.
yep,
And I used in stories. I don't know if you can see this. If you're on YouTube, you can see it. It
mm.
looks like a cell phone screen. And then there's like a search bar that comes across. And it wrote Bible verse used in manifest. And then it showed the actual quote on the phone. So it looks like a Google search,
Oh,
basically.
gotcha.
So that's one
Yep.
story post. Then the next one, my husband, we were scrolling through social media, right, last night. And
Mhm.
we found this adorable little Frenchie dog. And he's talking, the owner is eating dinner. And the dog is like, here, I'll just play it so you can hear it.
He ate that whole bowl and didn't even bother to look at me. He knows vanilla's my favorite. Oh no, that's the last bite, man. I brought him 2 mice yesterday and all he did was a bit. Oh wait, just a little bit of scrapies. Come on, give me some.
So it's just a dog that's like begging for food. And it's adorable, right? It's like we
Right.
all have dogs that beg, and that's like the
Yeah.
whole commentary that goes through their head. So that was kind of it's just a cute, fun dog video that I found, right?
Yep.
And then I had one of my clients, I did an Airbnb shoot for her last week, and she did a post and tagged me in her story.
Yep.
Um, she did an actual post and then she did a story post. So, and she tagged me. So if you tag someone in a story, it pops up on their notifications as a message or in their DMs, basically showing you the post, and then you can add it to your story. So be mindful when you're posting on your stories, tag the people that you think might want to repost that on their page, because it'll give you that double exposure. So she did that and she said, take a look, new photos up on our Airbnb, y'all. It looks so good. And she said, at Focused Media Collective. So she
Nice.
gave my business a shout out, right? Calling me out. It's like social proof showing that my clients are happy. So I reposted that onto my story. So those are my 3 stories for the day that are
That's
up.
awesome. Yeah, and oh, that reminds me too. When I've been doing this too, is that when you get an email from somebody or you get a text from somebody and they say, "Oh, thanks so much for doing that today," or whatever, take a screenshot of it and I throw it up in Google Drive under like referrals or whatever, a category there,
Testimonial.
so that
Mhm.
testimonial, you want to throw it up on social just to show like, little things like that can be a simple story. And then just the people who might not be as maybe don't use Instagram as much, just so you know what Rachel's talking about, there's different categories in that, but the stories are kind of where you keep engaging with your current audience, all the people who already like you and follow you. You do those stories to kind of just keep touching, but keep top of mind basically, so you can have fun and it doesn't stick around for forever, so it's not stuff that's like on your portfolio forever, that you get a dog talking to one in ice cream.
Yeah.
That's just like, oh, for fun, and they're thinking about you and checking you out throughout the day, staying connected.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're gone after 24 hours. So no
Mhm.
one will ever see it again. And they can like it, they can comment, they can do whatever. But the stories are only shown to people that follow you. So,
Correct.
and it shows up at the top of the screen. So reels are shown to a whole audience of
Right.
whoever the algorithm decides it needs to go to. It
Right.
goes.
Reels are how you're trying to reach those people
Yeah.
who don't know about you.
Yes. So when you're thinking about your strategy, the people that are watching your stories are people that already follow you, already like you, already trust you and know you. So that's where you could be showing, you could let down the veil a little bit and show your behind the scenes. Get on there. You don't have to be perfect. It's not your portfolio. It's more like, get to know me. Like, this
Behind
is
the
who I am.
scenes and a little more connection, a little more real.
Mhm.
Even though
Yeah. And
reels you would think would be real.
right. And then the reels, on the other hand, would be more of like your commercial or something with a strong, hook title that's going to explain what the video is about so they don't swipe away. And then you're going to go into whatever your content is. And at the end, you're going to ask them to follow you, ask them to comment, ask them to go to your website to book. You're going to tell them what they need to do next. So you're giving them that call to action to do something, because you have to tell people or they won't do anything. So my social
That's
media,
awesome.
I also have a virtual assistant that started for me last year, and he has been helping me create reels. So he'll find, or I'll send him ideas of reels that I like. He sends me ideas of reels that he likes. He's like, let's do this one. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what do you need? He's like, film your whole day. And I'm like, oh goodness. He's told me that one months ago and I still haven't done it. But it's stuff like that. He's like, okay, I need clips of this, this, and this. So I'll go into my video vault that I have and pull clips for him, So that's been really helpful for me too, for posting reels and videos. So this year, I think in the last year, I've committed to the 3 posts on my newsfeed. That goes through automatically with my social media manager. Tuesdays, I do Tip Tuesday, and I do it on a reel and I do it on my stories. And then, so that's every Tuesday. I usually record it on Tuesday. I think of the tip that day. It's whatever comes to my mind. Now, in the last month, I've actually started planning Tip Tuesday out, pre-writing the content in a Google Doc, so I have it ready to go. So it looks more on brand and consistent with my newsfeed posts. It's a little bit more involved, and I've been kind of pre-recording them and I'm editing them in CapCut, which is a time commitment. It takes me about an hour to do my Tip Tuesday now, but I
Yep.
feel like the higher quality of that video is going to help me attract more people. So that's why I'm doing it that way, because I have the course coming out. I'm trying to attract a wider audience and educate people more on the content I'm putting out there. And I want to attract more people. And then on Thursdays, so Thursday would be my only day of the week left that I'm not posting anything, right? So Thursday is my day to post a video or a reel. So I have a little vault full of videos. I've done recording with my video crew. We did like a whole day of video recording where they asked me a ton of questions. We did like interview style. I did a little giveaway of a drone to one of my teammates, and we did a whole 3-part series on that, and then like just talking head videos or, behind the scenes or how-to video. So I'm trying to do Monday newsfeed, Tuesday Tip Tuesday, Wednesday newsfeed, Thursday video, Friday newsfeed. So it's really honestly only 2 days a week that I have to physically post something. And that was a good place for me to start last year. And now at where I'm at this point, I'm posting like, I don't know what's gotten into me, but the last like month I've been posting multiple videos a day. Maybe it's just because I have time. It's kind of the slow season still, but I just love creating these reels. There's just so many
Yeah.
fun templates. I'm just like,
Well, I
totally
think too,
enjoying it.
when you start out, you're like 2 times a week, and then you try to do one, and it takes you a long time. The first time, several that you're going to try to do, they're going to take you a long time to just get used to it. But once you,
Mhm.
just like taking the photos of the house, the first time you took photos of the house, it probably took you an hour. For
Exactly.
now, when you do a house, it might take you a half hour for that same house. It's the
Mhm.
same thing. And then you get good at that. And then you're like, oh, I can do these other things. And all of a sudden you find yourself doing 3, or you find yourself doing a couple stories in addition to the 2 reels you did, or whatever the case. So yeah,
Right.
you can just start somewhere and be consistent with it. And then you'll gravitate to kind of adding on to that, especially if you start to see getting traction, getting engagement, and people being excited about it, and you're going to be excited about it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. So that's where I'm at in a nutshell. It's really fun
Yeah.
and I
No, that's
love the
cool.
space. I've made a lot of friends, gotten a lot of clients. I stay top of mind. I'm always communicating with my clients about new services or new processes and procedures, whatever I need to communicate. I know I can communicate it on social and most of them will see it.
Well, awesome. I think there's some cool info in there, and like Rachel said at the beginning, we're gonna do a little mini series, a couple topics about the social stuff. So check us out again for some more of the social stuff.
Woo! Stay tuned. We got good stuff. On Buzzsprout, actually, our social media episode that we put, I think it was episode number 2, was the power of social media. That one
Yep.
has like the most views. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
guys are saying you like it, so we're gonna give you more of it.
You like it, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You're
So
gonna
please
get it.
go to YouTube and follow us on YouTube. You can watch this live so you can see our beautiful faces, and it's fun. You can see my dog Bull where it's at in my office. It's really entertaining.
Ooh,
I
that,
know,
that is
exciting.
exciting.
Exciting stuff.
We're not gonna tell you what kind of bowl it is. You'll have to wait and
Yeah,
see.
wait till you see. It's fancy schmancy. But anywho, yeah, it's been real.
Awesome.
So yeah, go to YouTube, follow us there. Please comment. Let us know if there's anything in particular you'd like us to dive into about social media. We love new ideas for show topics.
And we could totally use your ratings on wherever you listen to our podcast. It would be very helpful for us so that we can grow and, broaden our audience. So we appreciate it, guys, and hope that this has been helpful. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Yes, toodaloos. All right, guys, have a great day. Go get on social media. If you have questions, hit us up. Run into my DMs and ask me questions. I love them. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye guys.